Hello, it's Argo here. Thank you very much for checking this out. We have a unique video for today. We are going to show all 24 killer Moris in Dead by Daylight. And then we are going to do a tier list for all of them. So if you want to just check out just the Moris, I will timestamp each killer's Mori in the description below, so you can just click on those and you go straight to those Moris. And then if you want to check out the tier list, it will be after all the Moris. So if you just want to look at the kills, you can just check out the links below. And then if you want to check out how I rank all the killers Moris, just click on that timestamp and it fast forwards past the all the Moris, and we'll talk about it, and we'll go from there. So I will leave you here. I'm going to show all of the Moris, no commentating for me, so if you want to just check them out, go for it. If you want to check my comments afterwards, just right after those, it'll just switch over and we'll join you back. Thank you very much for checking this out. If you like this kind of video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, and let me know what are your favorite Moris. What did I get wrong on the list? And we'll go from there.
ごめん。
All right, I'm back with you. Hopefully you liked all those Moris. Like I mentioned, let me know in the comments below what are your favorites. But right now we are going to rank mine. We're going to start in order of them. So the first one is the Trapper. The thing about the Trapper's Mori is I think it's a little outdated. Obviously, he just hits you with his weapon, I think 2 or 3 times in the back. And it's not really anything great. I think I'm going to go with the Trapper in D category, the lowest. What I would do to make it better is, I feel personally, is if the Trapper uses his traps. I mean, call me crazy. I wish he would lay down a trap and then force your head into the trap and then let it go off. And then you die by just this trap snapping on your face. I think that would be really cool and fit the Trapper better. So I think that would be an awesome Mori. And I think that would automatically, for me, go from D to S tier. Because that would just be epic. But for now, unfortunately, our cover boy is in the D category. Next up is the Wraith. he is very, very similar to the Trapper's Mori, where he just, clubs you 2 or 3 times. I think the only slight difference with the Wraith is that I do like how you're kind of almost crawling away and he pulls you back and then does it. So I'm going to make that slightly above the Trapper just for that little detail of him dragging you back and then clubbing you. I still think it's not that great, but I don't really know any suggestions of how to make it better because you can't cloak and then uncloak. Like, obviously his power is cloaking. You can't do that in a Mori because it needs to be relatively short. You can't have a 2-minute Mori and then everyone gets away. Maybe if he picks you up and then swings you like a baseball, I have no idea. I don't think I would change his Mori. It's just not that great. Next up is our boy Hillbilly. He just kind of revs his chainsaw and lays it down on you. It's not one, it's okay. It's not terrible, but it's not that awesome either. I think he's in the same boat as the Wraith. I don't know how I would improve it without it going too much into the Cannibal Mori, but I think it's just fine. It's just a little underwhelming. I might readjust these depending when I get further on, because if I find some that are not as bad as Trapper but not as good as the Wraith or Hillbilly, maybe I'll move them up. So the final rankings, these are not the final rankings. We'll do the final rankings at the very end. The Nurse. Oh boy. When I was watching the Nurse's Mori, I didn't think it was anything special until the very end. And it's a very, very slight touch that I think pushes it up. It's after she chokes you, she like slowly caresses your face. And that little detail bumps it up for me, because I think it is just such an awesome detail that obviously it did not need to be added. And then her blinking on top of you and then blinking away, I am going to put the Nurse in A category. And it's just those fine details that is just awesome. Next on is our guy Michael Myers. I like that he shows brute strength, and also he does it in a very Michael Myers way, where when I think of Michael Myers, obviously he's a really big stalker, and I feel like when he finally gets that opportunity to kill you, he does it face to face. And what I really like about it is that you can see when he first stabs, the survivor tries to like fight off. It's like hitting him in the shoulder until he finally thrusts his knife all the way through you. So I don't think it's A category, because it is very plain. I mean, he stabs you twice, but I think the details of him having you face to face, the survivor trying to fight back, is a very good touch, and I'm going to put it in the B category, because I slightly like the Nurses more than Michael Myers, so I don't want to put it in the same category, but I think it'll fit just well right there. Next is the Hag. The Hag is brutal. When I first saw the Hag's Mori, I was like, what just happened? When she is very, very brutal. She jumps on your face, she's biting you, clawing, and then her very end of it, I love where she's like, when she takes like your guts and starts eating them, she's walking away, she's like eating them, and then she like turns and like it just seems like very twitchy, and I absolutely like that. So I think the Hags is actually S tier. Oh boy, our first S tier. I really like it personally. I think it is brutal. It is a very on character, and the subtle details of her like slowly creeping away when she's eating, like gnawing at your guts, and then she just like turns, and it's just one of my favorite. The Doctor. It's a very cool Mori, but it's very plain Jane. I love that he uses his electricity and he just like fries your brain. So it's very on character. I Really like the touch of the camera waits till your face rolls over, and then you just have a whole bunch of smoke coming out of your head, like everywhere. I think it's out of your, like around your eyes and your nose and maybe your ears. So I really do like that touch. I think I like it. It's not D category. I think I like it better than the Wraith and Hillbilly. So I'm going to put it with Michael Myers in the B category, because it is not as good as the Nurses, but it's very on character, and I just love that that he shocks your head, and it looks really cool if you're watching someone get worried. If you're playing and then someone else is getting worried, you kind of stop and you're like, oh, I just want to watch it. Next up is my favorite killer, the Huntress. Oh, this is a love-hate relationship, because I really like her Mori, and I try not to put it higher because I just really like the Huntress. I like that she kind of hits you in the face with her big axe, and then she just kind of whomps you right in the chest after you fall over. So I think it is definitely better than Hillbilly. It's definitely not C category. I'm debating between A and B, and I think it's going to fall in the B category, because it is. I do really like it, and I love that they didn't just leave it where she just hits you with the axe on your head, but then she comes back and follows up with one in your chest. But I don't think it's as good as the Nurses, so I'm going to put it in the B category for now, and we might have to revisit that one. The next is the Cannibal. So, watching the Cannibal's Mori, I think I was going to go straight to C. Until the very end, when he does a very Tusken Raider thing and goes, oh, like he screams with his arms and the chainsaw in the air. And I think just for that touch, I'm going to have to put it in the B category. Next up is Freddy. Oh, I want to love Freddy Mori so much, but it just lacks for me. I think it could be a lot better. I think if you use something with the Dream World, like he puts a portal under you or a snare under you, and then something comes up, like his claw comes up and just kind of grabs you and pulls you under, and your body just kind of stays there or something after. And that would be a lot better. The fact that he kind of goes in and out of the Dream World, and then he just kind of stabs you in the back. I like the detail of him going in, they incorporating the Dream World. I just think it's kind of easy decision to he just puts his claw straight through your back. Like, I think it would be much better if it incorporated the Dream World more. Like I said, him putting down a snare, and then Freddy doesn't even really need to do something. It could just be something terrifying that comes up, a giant claw or something comes out of the snare and kills you. So unfortunately for that, I gotta put Freddy's Mori in the C category, because I think it could be a lot better. I think it's definitely better than the Wraiths and possibly the Hillbillies, but I think with the potential of where it could be is why I got to like knock it down a few spots. The Pig. The same for the Pig. It's very on character, but it is very underwhelming. I mean, she's going to stab you in the chest, and the survivor puts it up. So I do like just like the same thing with the Michael Myers. I do like that the survivor tries to fight back. Unfortunately, the blade goes through the survivor's hand, and then it moves, and then she just kind of slits your throat. With the character, I wish they would just do something different. I don't really know what it could be. Maybe that she like stalks or like crouches down, and then the survivor actually gets up after being hit, and then she kind of jumps on his back or something, and then just kind of stabs him in the back of the head, or flips around and then stabs him in the throat. So I don't know, but I think it could be a little bit better if they incorporate like the crouching or the stalking of her ability a little bit better with that. So unfortunately with that, she's gonna have to go in the C category as well. Next up is the Clown. I absolutely love the Clown's Mori. I think it is perfect. It is on character, and I love, without even going into it, it's definitely S tier. I think the Clown's Mori is just perfect. Like it could end where he's just stomping your head, and then obviously that would probably be in the C category. But I love that he stomps you in the head, then you're already dead, but he cuts your finger off, and then he licks the blood off, and then he puts it on his keychain full of fingers, like he's adding it to his collection. So I absolutely love the details in the Clown's Mori, and I think it is definitely one of the best Moris out there. Next up is the Spirit. The Spirit. I really like the Spirit. She almost like she's freaking playing golf with your body. She phases in and out. She stabs you, you fall down, and then she just goes ham on your body. She's just like boof, and then she phases on the other side, and then she phases, goes to the other side, and hits you. So I think the Spirit is definitely up there with the Nurse. It is borderline S tier. I kind of want to put it at S tier. All right, we're gonna do it. Spirit will definitely be S tier because I just love that Mori. I just love the incorporating of the phasing, the stabbing you the first time, and then she to phase. I absolutely love it. It's frantic and it is very Spirit-like. Next up is the Legion. The Legion, I actually like it a lot because it's very theatrical. When he first stabs you, the survivor tries to crawl away, and then he stabs you in the ankle, stabs you in the leg, drags you to him, and then stabs you again in the back, flips you over, and then kind of guts you from chest to your stomach. So I think it is definitely a really good Mori. I'm going to have to put... I'm debating between A and B. I think for the theatrics, we're going to have to put it in A. I personally just really like it. And I just like that it incorporates the survivor actually interacting with the killer instead of them just laying there and taking it. The Plague. Oh boy. It's definitely not S tier. I like the Plagues. I love how she first clobs you in the head, and then she picks you up, and then she she does her normal like she's calling out, and then she's speaking, and then she vomits all over you, and then just kind of snaps your neck and you just fall over. So I really like the Plagues. I think it's better than the B category, and I think I'm going to have to put it in A, because it's definitely not S tier, but I do really, really like it. Next up, Ghostface. Come on. I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to argue with this one. Ghostface Mori is probably the best in the game. In fact, I'm going to put him over here, even though this order doesn't matter. But Ghostface's Mori is one of the best and funniest. Obviously, he stabs you, and then he takes a selfie. So it is very, very on character, and I think it's one of the best ones in the game. So there's not really much to say more than Ghostface. It's just an absolute perfect. I think when I play Ghostface, it's one of the killers that I always want to bring a Mori because I just want to do it. So it's definitely, just for that factor alone should be up there, just because you want to see it. So you want to bring the Moris when you are playing Ghostface, just because even if you're playing Survivor, if I get Mori'd by Ghostface, I don't even get upset because I'm like, I actually enjoyed it, thank you. So I actually rather be Mori'd by Ghostface than just hooked and killed. The Demogorgon. Oh, so the Demogorgon, I like that he screams out, then it becomes extremely brutal, where he just jumps on you and then just engulfs your head. And then the other, just like what I mentioned before, the detail of just like screaming out after he's done is just perfect. I don't think it's necessarily S tier with these four, so I'm going to put it in the A category because it is definitely one of the best, and I really like it. There's not one thing you can really change about it. I think obviously the S tier you wouldn't change at all, but I think even the A categories you would not change anything really with it. Even with the Bs, maybe it's just a little bit lower tier, but the Cs and Ds, they could definitely have some rework. The Oni, He is probably the same as the Demogorgon, where it's very on character, so he's going to get the A category, where I love that he uses his sword to stab through you, then you fall down, and then he rips your tongue out, and then beats you with his hammer, or his special weapon. Actually, now that I describe it, I think it's going to be S tier, because it is very on character, the theatrics is there, the brutality is definitely there, and I just love the extra, like, the detail of pulling your tongue out and just holding it before he kind of finishes you is definitely really high in the brutal category, and it is one of those details that, honestly, if it wasn't in there, his Mori would still be A tier. But the fact that they put that in there, I think it's got to bump it up. So he's going to go in the S category. Now that I'm thinking about it, Hag might move down to A. I don't know. We'll after we finish it, or for our initial thoughts, I'll go through the list. The Deathslinger. I have a love-hate relationship with the Deathslinger's Mori. I really like the concept of the Mori, where he stabs you, puts his gun through your back, and then he pulls the trigger and the harpoon goes through your face. The only thing I don't like it is I recorded two Moris from the survivor perspective and one from the killer perspective, and both from the survivor I kind of get that weird bug where my character kind of goes invisible. I did it from third person, like from a third character, watching on, and it looked perfect. But I think the fact that I couldn't, with the survivor, that you kind of don't see the body and you kind of see the gun through. I'm not sure if that's map specific or just because we were in there. We were in the open field, so I'm going to put it in the B category. I think even if you see it straight from all the survivors' perspective, I think it still would be in the B category. But for now, I'm going to leave it in the B category and just have it at that. The Executioner, I absolutely love playing as Executioner. I think his Mori is just fine. Wouldn't change it. I just don't think it's as awesome as the other one. Obviously, he pulls you up, he cages you. Well, not cages you, but put the barbed wire through you, and then he puts his sword through you and turns. I absolutely love the Mori. I would not change anything about the Mori. The only thing I wish could happen is, since he puts that big ass sword through you, that your body actually splits in half and then just falls to the ground. And then when other survivors see that the Mori is, your body is still in two pieces. I know, obviously, with the Moris, they kind of just leave your body there and not mangled or anything like that. It just lays there. But I think with his specifically, it should have two parts, and then it's just two parts just laying there, and then other survivors still see the two parts on the ground. So for that, I'm gonna put it in the B category because I think it's just fine, but I think it could be definitely improved. And if that was the case, it would probably go up to the S category. The Blight. I like the Blight's Mori a lot, but I think it's going to be in the B category and not make it fully up to the A. I like that he uses his needle and he injects you in the side and then in the face, and then you see his, I don't know what it is, but it just, your whole guts and everything starts boiling up, and then he just hits you with his crowbar or his weapon. I think it would be better. It's almost similar to the Executioner. I think it would be better if he doesn't even hit you with his weapon. He injects you twice, and then when your guts are boiling up, your body just explodes. And I don't even care if your body doesn't even sit there. It could just put like a pool of blood, and your body just disappears. So the other survivors, all they see is maybe like a pool of blood and some guts, and your body basically just exploded. I think that would be a lot better. Obviously, they want to keep it where your character is still there, but I think with them two specifically, I think it should be a little bit different. And I think the Blight, your body should just explode, and then maybe you just have a pool of blood, maybe some of the orange like oozing out, and then maybe some like guts and stuff in there, and then that's it. Your body is actually just gone. It exploded. Next up is the twins. The twins is hard to judge because the twins have two different Moris, which obviously, if you didn't watch both of them, you can click on the link to this in the description to go back and watch them. Because there's a Mori with Victor, and then there's a different Mori if you don't have Victor on you. I think I like the Mori without Victor more, which might seem very strange. Because the Mori with Victor, she hits you, and then I love the touch that Victor like looks up to Charlotte, and Charlotte goes, "Yeah, go get him, boy." And then he jumps out, and then he goes and bites you in the back of the neck, and then crawls back into Charlotte. The one without Victor, I think I like it because it is very brutal. Like, she hits you with the weapon, you fall down on your knees, then she hits you again in the side, and it's just like, oh, and then you fall, and then she just hits you again. So it's kind of almost like the Spirit, where she just, every angle, she just, bam, she's just whipping it. So for the fact that she has two different Moris, depending if you have Victor, I'm going to put it in the A category, just because it's a little bit average. I think they're both between A and B, but at the fact that it's cool that she has two different Moris depending on Victor, because obviously they could have left it where the one without Victor could have just been the Mori, and even if Victor just doesn't come out. So I really do like the touch that they incorporate Victor when he is with her. Moving on, we have two more left. The two newest killers, Trickster. Oh man, obviously the Trickster is very, very on character. He just kind of destroys you with knives, and then I think I love the subtle touch that he pulls out. It's almost like an autograph card, throws it on you, and then uses a knife to put it right into your chest or your stomach. I really like it. It is very on character. I'm leaning towards A or B. It's kind of almost right in between. It's like a B plus. But for that, I'm just going to put it in the A category because I'm kind of right in the middle, and I'll just think it's right up there. I don't think it's in the S category, but I definitely think it is in the A category. Next up is the Nemesis. Oh man, the Nemesis is... I like it. I'm going to put it in the B category. I like it. I don't love it. It is one where obviously he uses his tentacle, puts it through you, and then kind of throws you on the ground and then just stomps on your head. The one thing I really, really love about it is if he Moris Jill or Leon or Chris, he says stars, and before he stomps you in the face. So I really love that touch, but obviously that only affects 3 characters. So I can't really say it's an A because he says stars, because 90% of the other characters he doesn't do that. So he's going to sit in B. I think it just could be more brutal, even if it's something like, I know it'd be very, very hard to do, but almost like in the intro DVD video where he does the Meg, like he uses his tentacle, wraps you around, and then just whips it and throws you across the room. Or even if they don't do that, because obviously some don't have rooms, like Colden Farm, he just wraps you in the tentacle and then he just kind of pulls you up and then whips you straight down to the ground. Something like that would be awesome. He picks you up and he squeezes you, or he picks you up with the tentacle, brings you to him, and then he does something, and then he slams you on the ground, punches you, or even if he just pulls you close to his face and then slams you down. I think that would be much more intimidating, and it would be a great touch. So overall, looking at this, I think I'm going to make one change. And I think when I was talking about all of the S tier, I think I'm going to move Hag down to A tier. I still really like it, but it's fluctuating between A and S. And I think if I do that, it's not like B and A, that I should play it safe and go in A category. So this is my final Dead by Daylight Mori tier list. What do you think of it? Is there any that you would change? Is there any ones that you really like that I just missed the mark on? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you like this video. I know it is something very different, but we'll see how it goes. So I will see you guys later. Let me know in the comments below if you like it, and I will see you for the next one. Bye-bye.